Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson of DBO Stocks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Derive Data in SQL, and here we'll be learning how to derive a person's salutation, whether Mr., Miss, or Mrs. Okay, to achieve this, we shall be needing two pieces of information, a person's gender and that person's civil status or civil status. Okay, let's look at the data we have in the table called employees. Okay, there we go. So employees table has only a few records there, only 5. And if we look at the columns, we have a couple of columns that we'll be needing. We have the column given name, I can make use of surname, given name. And then for the purpose of salutation, derivation, I can make use of the column civil status, and gender. Okay. So we got those that we need. Okay. I'll be making as more specific select statement now. Instead of the select asterisk, I'll be specifying the column so that it's more targeted. Okay. Select given name, surname, gender, civil status from the same table employees. So we have these so far, but I want to put the names together while being separated by a space. For that, I'll be doing concatenation, which is using the concatenation characters double pipe in SQL. Okay, so I'll be doing a concatenation of given name and surname. Okay, right? So if you look at these two columns over here, the only difference between the first statement and the second is that I am concatenating these two using the concatenation characters with a double pipe, vertical bar, and then this. So it's like a glue. Given name, join with, instead of joining directly with the surname, I'm giving a space in between. Okay. Otherwise, if I don't put this space character, then they'll be right next to each other, and it doesn't look correct. Okay. So if I execute this, it has joined the two name columns, given name and surname, together into a single column. Okay, this one, because of concatenation. Okay, that's the first step. Next is to derive the salutation for these names. What I mean is that if it is female single, the F here is female, M is male, gender. In civil status, the S means single, the M means married. Okay, so I'm saying deriving this, the salutation example, if a female single, then it should be, this person should have a salutation of Miss. And if it's female and married, it should have a salutation of Mrs. Okay, so knowing that we need the person's gender and civil status, let's look at the possible combinations. Okay, I'll just paste them down here. I'll paste them here. So these are the possible combinations of the values. Okay, so meaning if it is gender is female, civil status is single, then the salutation is Miss. Gender is female, civil status is married, then the salutation must be Mrs., etc. Okay, so that's quite clear. Now, if we imagine using an if-then-else condition using these bits, this information here, you can say if gender is male and civil status is single, then return or display Mr. to be something like that. Since we can use an if statement within a select statement, we shall be using the decode function, the same one that I have used in a previous video in the same playlist. The syntax will be something like this, just for you to be refreshed. Decode, which is used within a select statement. Decode and then parenthesis, the column name that you want to test for an if. So if the value is like this, then display this. If a value is on something else, then display that. And then optionally, you could end it with an else value. Okay. Since I will be looking at the values of two columns, I can join those two values as I use them in the code. Okay, so let's just look at this one. Using the syntax of the code, here's my decode now. Again, the code is used within a select statement. Select the code. So I am using, instead of one column, I am looking at two columns at the same time. So I'm just concatenating those values. It's like saying F gender civil status is S. So I join them into becoming FS. Okay. So gender joined with civil status. If gender civil status is FS, meaning female single, then I will return Miss. If gender civil status is female FM, female married, then I should return Mrs. If the gender civil status is MS, male single, then it's Mr. And if it is male married, then it is Mr. Okay, so I'll be using that. Now let's put it together with the select statement I had before, which is this one. Okay. So this now is a combination of the first two statements you have seen. Okay, I will be removing this. It's already a combination of the two. So the first part will derive the salutation, if it is, be it Mr., Miss, Mrs. The second part is just a concatenation of the names, the given name and the surname. Okay, and then I'm also displaying the gender and the civil status just for you to have a way to verify if the output is correct. Okay, so I'll execute this one. So you can see it's correct. The first one from here all the way up to here comes out as a single column, and we're able to do that because of the technique called concatenation, which is using the concatenation character double pipe or double vertical bar. And then we are giving it an alias. Here is the as keyword. Gave it an alias of name with salutation. Okay. So the whole thing from here, from the decode all the way up to here, comes out as a single column with an alias of name with salutation. How is it possible? First is, like I said, concatenation, but the first is the decode function was used from here up to here. So again, the decode function works like an if then else condition within a select statement. So because I was working on two columns at the same time, gender and civil status, I concatenated them here in the first parameter. Okay, so the column to be tested for if, so it's the value of FS, which is female single, then return Miss. If it is female married, then Mrs., etc., etc. Okay, and then just for your verification, I've also displayed gender and civil status. So now let's verify. So Mr. Joseph Ong, the first row. So as we know, a male, regardless of the civil status, will have the same salutation, which is Mr. So no problem with that. Gender, male. Civil status is single, so Mr. Again here, male, so it will be Mr. Let's jump to the fourth row, which is female single, which should be Miss, and it is a Miss here. Here, female married, female marriage, it should be a Mrs., and it's a Mrs. here. Okay, and how is that possible? It was made possible by the use of the decode function over here in the first line. Okay, like I said, decode works like an if-then else statement. Now we can improve the decode by simplifying it further, since we know that a male would use the same salutation regardless of the civil status. Okay, in fact, you can even say that if a person is neither of the first two categories, which is female single, female married, we could also conclude, sorry, if it's neither female single nor female married, we could even conclude that we're sure it's a male in the else condition. Okay, so with that, we can just remove this condition here. Male single, male married. And then we can just say all other conditions besides the first two I will just display Mr. and be very sure about that. Okay. So again, if it's female single is a Miss, female married is be a Mrs., and all other conditions besides these two, I will display Mr. Okay. And you can see that the result is still correct because of the else condition. We've covered the different possibilities, the possible combinations of the gender and civil status. And we already know that if it is not a female, then for sure it will be, we will be using a Mr. as a salutation. Okay. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.